To God be the glory. You know, there are things that go on in the church. When pastors, when they are preaching, they have us do a lot of things. You know, touch your neighbor and tell them, God bless you. Touch your neighbor and tell them, it is well with you. Touch your neighbor and touch your neighbor. Too much touching, man. There was a time pastor was preaching one day in my church. He said, people of God, today we are going to talk about God enlarging your coast. Somebody tell your neighbor on your right hand side, tell them God will enlarge your coast. I turned to the person sitting on my right hand side. I said, God will enlarge your coast. People of God, Jabez prayed in the book of 1 Chronicles chapter 4 verse 10 that Lord enlarge my coast. I want you to turn to the person sitting on your left hand side. Tell them God will enlarge your coast. Now, before I said it, the person that was sitting on my left hand side, she already left. I didn't know it was somebody else that was sitting there. So when I turned, I saw the person sitting on my left hand side. God has already enlarged her coast. I looked at her. Pastor, keep on preaching. Then she nudged me and said, excuse me, Pastor said you should say enlarge your coast. I said, my sister, be careful. Please say it. I said, leave me alone. God has already done it for you. What else do you want? The reason why I didn't say it was because I went to a church a Sunday before. Pastor was telling us, people of God, I want you to slap 3 people and tell them God is good. And you know, as an African, whenever ministers of God, anointed men of God, when they tell us to do something, we obey them. He said we should slap 3 people and tell them God is good. I went to the first one. Bam! God is good. Bam! God is good. Bam! God is good. Among the 3 people that I slapped, I didn't know that there was one person who just came to the church. He's not even born again yet. He's just trying to. After the service, come and see how this boy beats me up. He beat the God is good out of me that day. To God be the glory.